Across centuries and continents, Black people have risen against systems built to break them. In 1804, enslaved Africans in Haiti overthrew one of the world's most powerful empires. In 1957, Ghana lit the torch of African independence. In 1960, Patrice Lumumba stood against Belgian colonial rule, even at the cost of his life. From Selma to Soweto, from Kingston to Kinshasa, every struggle spoke to the next. These are not isolated stories. They are threads in a single tapestry, the global fight for Black liberation. Welcome to Brick City Brown Chick. I'm here to bring you stories of survival, struggle, and resistance. Stories that connect our past to our present. Today, we dive into the echoes of resistance, a global tapestry, lessons from Black liberation movements around the world, and why they still matter for us right now. What connects a march on the streets of Selma, a rally in Accra, a rebellion in Haiti, and a defiant stand in Soweto? They are echoes of a single song, the global struggle for Black liberation. For centuries, across continents, Black people have risen against systems built to oppress them. And while each movement had its own voice, together they created a tapestry of resistance that reshaped nations and still inspires us today. This is the Echoes of Resistance, a global tapestry. And today, we uncover what these struggles teach us about freedom, solidarity, and the unfinished fight for justice. When we think about Black liberation, many picture Martin Luther King Jr. or Malcolm X in the United States. But the story is far larger, it's global. From Africa to the Caribbean to the Americas, liberation has never been contained by borders. Each victory, each rebellion, each revolution spoke to the next, creating a ripple effect across the world. These weren't isolated struggles. They were chapters in a global movement against the same beast: systemic oppression, racism, and colonial domination. In the mid-20th century, as colonial empires crumbled, a bold idea began to spread: Pan-Africanism. Kwame Nkrumah, the first president of Ghana, envisioned not just a free Ghana, but a united Africa. He argued, "Our independence is meaningless unless it is linked with the total liberation of Africa." Leaders like Patrice Lumumba of Congo embodied this dream. Lumumba's defiance against Belgian colonialism made him a symbol of African dignity, though it cost him his life. Pan-Africanism wasn't just politics. It was a movement of shared struggle. Africans across borders, uniting against oppression, insisting that freedom in one country was tied to freedom everywhere. The Caribbean became a crossroads of revolution and radical thought. Frantz Fanon, born in Martinique, fought colonialism not just with words but with action, joining Algeria's War of Independence. In his writings, like The Wretched of the Earth, Fanon argued that true liberation required a complete break from colonial systems. Meanwhile, C.L.R. James from Trinidad linked history, sports, and politics to show how ordinary people could lead extraordinary change. But decades earlier, the Haitian Revolution had already lit the torch. Enslaved Africans, led by Toussaint Louverture, overthrew French rule in 1804, creating the first free Black republic in the world. This victory terrified slave owners everywhere, but it became a beacon of hope for the oppressed. Later, the Caribbean's intellectual fire would feed directly into the Black power movements of the 1960s and 70s, reminding the world that liberation was not only possible, but inevitable. Black liberation was never just local. It was international. African American civil rights activists drew strength from Africa's independence movements. In 1957, Martin Luther King Jr. traveled to Ghana for its independence celebrations, witnessing firsthand the promise of Pan-African freedom. Malcolm X took the message further, visiting Africa and calling for a united front against racism and imperialism everywhere. At the same time, anti-apartheid movements in South Africa gained global allies. Boycotts, protests, and international solidarity campaigns brought pressure that helped dismantle apartheid decades later. From Harlem to Johannesburg, from London to Kingston, a common truth emerged: when oppressed people unite, their power is unstoppable. So what do these global struggles teach us today? First, the power of unity. Liberation was never won by individuals alone, but by communities, coalitions, and shared struggles. Second, the need for adaptability. From armed revolts to cultural resistance, movements succeeded when they found strategies that fit their time and place. And third, the principle of self-determination. True liberation comes not from reforming broken systems, but from building new ones rooted in dignity and equality. The struggle for Black liberation is not over, but history gives us a roadmap, showing that resistance works, solidarity matters, and freedom is possible. The echoes of resistance continue. The question is, will we listen, learn, and carry them forward? If this history moves you, share it, learn from it, and most importantly, let it shape the fight for justice today. Because the tapestry of liberation is still being woven, and we are all part of it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories.